Hey guys, when it comes to attracting women, seducing women, and ultimately getting to the point where you're going to be with a woman, it's called the pair bonding process in science, and it's very much no different than the animal kingdom, which is it's a song and a dance, I call it. So part of the dance is like the body language is going to be the big thing, but how you present yourself physically, the movements. And then based on that, just like in the animal kingdom, say with birds, they do their little dance, and there's the female bird looking from a branch above, inspecting the male bird, and then she allows him to get close and mate with her. It's very much similar to the dating game of humans, which is the woman, she's sitting there and she's inspecting you to see if you're mate material. Right off the bat, like within instantaneous of her seeing you for the first time, that those gears are already turning in her mind. And the biggest indicators that's going to be the dance is going to be the body language, how you present yourself physically, how you move. And there's certain key elements here that I'm going to discuss. Some of them are common sense, but others you might want to reflect on a little bit. And this goes for everybody. And this is also not just in the mating sphere of things. This is also in life, like in professional, say in business areas of life as well. It's going to be applicable. Now, obviously, when it comes to body language, it's very much common sense, as I was saying. But people, we don't have the ability to really see ourselves so much, unless we're videotaping or unless we're looking at a mirror. But let's just be real. That's day-to-day life. That is not happening. So unless you're making YouTube videos like this and you're watching the videos after, but like seriously, like in the social sphere of things, you're not how we present ourselves at a party, or you know what I mean, in the lunch, in our workroom, and for lunch, like talking with our other people or talking with clients, or etc. We really don't have that self-awareness where we actually see ourselves. So we have to be mindful, and we have to of how we're presenting ourselves. And this is going to be the major aspect with which I think a lot of guys have issues with when meeting women, is they're just not mindful of what kind of body language they have, and they're just putting off a very undesirable image, a very undesirable dance. So just like in the animal kingdom, with the little chicks, little birds inspecting the male to see if you've got the right moves, essentially, which is going to be whether she's selecting you to pass down your genetic material to her or not with her. That's good. It's going to be the same thing in humans, essentially. Well, whether based on how you move and things, whether she's even going to potentially talk with you, or even further mate with you or be with you. So I'll get right to the major one, which is going to be your posture. A lot of guys, they lack posture because maybe they sit at a desk all day. They have really bad posture, or it's just not something that they normally think of. So the way I'm going to relate to you is just like in my job in massage therapy. To save my back, I make it look so I'm looking above. I make an imaginary horizon in the room, and I generally like to look above like an imaginary horizon, so I'm not hunched over and hurting my back. Well, the same thing you can do when you're in public is just imagine there's a imaginary horizon there, and always be looking above the horizon, okay? And there's an element to this, which is guys who look down below the horizon, that's almost a submissive thing. Like if you make eye contact with a guy and he looks down, that's like him being submissive to you. That's a body language thing. So it shows not confidence also. So confidence is looking up, looking above the horizon. The other aspect is how your back's going to be. So the way I like to relate is, imagine you have like shoelaces going up your back, and you give them a big tightening, and then your back goes shee. Or like back in the day, the women used to wear those corsets, whatever they're called, around their waist, and they jack them up and then they make them straight. Well, that's essentially doing the exact same thing, which is fixing their posture, making their posture more seductive. And the same thing we have to do with guys is like, pull up, and that brings out our chest. You keep obviously you don't stick your stomach out, like your stomach's up tucked, and then that incorporated with looking up is going to be a major game changer, I think, for a lot of guys. The other thing with body language is what you do with your hands. Okay, so you have to. It's a balance, because if you do nothing with your hands, it's not engaging. If you use your hands while you're telling a story or doing this type of thing, like I'm kind of doing now, that's kind of engaging. But if you're really weird with your hand, fidgety hands and things, that's going to be not desirable. So smart use of your hands, like say if you're making a point, you do one of those, or talking, elaborating, things like that. And then part of using your hands is then it's going to bridge the gap towards touch, because using your hands, and then you can go up and like touch your knee or other things as too, because your hands are already doing things. So that's what I'm going to touch. But there's many things I could touch on about specific body, that type of body language. And if I'm going to move to the eyes and face now, because this is going to be the major one, which communicates so much. Our face, our facial muscles, our eyebrows, even our eyes in general, our smile, it communicates so much. So this is going to be the major thing, because a lot of guys, again, aren't conscious about that. They don't even know what they're doing with their fucking face, and it's just putting off either weird vibes or just awkward vibes or not seductive vibes. So the major thing is going to be the eyes, because that's what initially you're going to make eye contact with her, hopefully. And eye contact is going to be soft eyes. So it's not one of these. You're not seeing the top of the whites of the eyes, because there's something we have in our brains called mirror neurons. And if our eyes look like we're in an agitated or excited state, the other person looking at you is going to be like looking in the mirror, and it's going to cause an excited, agitated state in them, a nervous state in them. And that's not what we want. What we want in her is for her to feel comfortable with you. So when you're comfortable, you're relaxed. So you're going to have a relaxed eye state, and then the girl's going to be comfortable. What reminds me of this is that, you guys remember that Seinfeld episode where Elaine falls for the guy who has the nice eyes? Like every time she sees him, he's like, it's like, oh, nice eyes. But then it turns out he's like this guy who's on commercials. I'm the whiz guy. Anyway, that's a funny. If you know the Seinfeld episode, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But it was Elaine fell for the guy's eyes. He just had really relaxed, calm eyes, and that shows masculinity. That shows confidence, like a John Wayne look, right? So eyes are important. Now the eyebrows, you're going to communicate eyebrows. So eyebrows, again, is part of the relaxed eyes. But then when you show interest, intrigue, they kind of can raise up a bit, right? And communicate things like that. Or if you're curious, you're doing one of those, right? And that's going to go complement the smile. Now the smile is going to be like a confident smile. You're not doing one of these, right? It's not like weird like that. And you're not overly smiling all the time, because that just shows that it's too much, right? But when you meet a girl and you notice that she's kind to you, you can give her a soft, warm smile with those confident eyes. That's going to be a powerful thing right off the bat. That's going to be like, bam, this guy's hot, if you do one of those. What else should I say with facial expressions, things? Just don't be so twitchy with the facial expressions too. Like, you have to be, sometimes in life, less is more, right? And when it comes to being seductive, that's going to be the exact same thing. Like, sometimes just toning things down a bit is going to be more seductive, and that's going to be just unnecessary facial movements and twitches and things is going to be more seductive. Blinking, looking around, eyes darting around everywhere. You know what I mean? You're not going to lock in a stare for too long. You know what I mean? You look away at times, but your eyes aren't just darting around. That's going to be weird, because that's going to initiate kind of a fight or flight response in her, and hopefully the flight is not going to initiate that flight response, which is her flighting, get the hell out of there. Another thing I should mention is that body language, you're taking up presence in the room. That's what major thing is. So in a group of people, you're not going to be the one who's like, the group of people isn't going to be like surrounding you and you're going to be like crushed in like this. It's like you're going to be kind of like, think about like being like the center of the party. So you position yourself well and you take up room. Taking up room with that confident body language is going to show that you're part of like the social structure. You're part of the social hierarchy above everyone else in a way. And that is one of the major things which seduces women, is that this guy is a leader. This guy is showing leadership qualities. even though that's not even registering in their mind per se. It's that subconsciously this guy's like the leader of the group, and girls gravitate towards the leader of the group, the social guys with higher social hierarchy, totem pole of things. Okay, it's just the way it goes. Which I think comes down to evolutionary. Females want to pass the genes down from guys who are higher up on the social ladder, or just ladder in general, because that's going to be essentially saving the whole species by passing down good genes, so to speak, right? To go on a little side note. What else should I mention? I think there's a few more things I wanted to mention here, and just drawing blank, but for the meantime, I'll just go over what I was talking about. Is that these are going to be the indicators, just like in the animal kingdom, I'm reiterating this, that's going to distinguish you as a desirable male to pass down the genetic material to essentially be a good mate selection process. It's a selection process. The females are the ones who do the majority of the selection of in the pair bonding, and that goes for the animal kingdom as well. The guys are the initiators, like the action, and girls are the reception. That goes for sex. We're the ones doing the action and then ejaculating. They're the ones recepting it, and then bearing the child. Well, the same thing goes in the whole mating ritual of things. It's going to be the guy's actions. It's going to be the guy's dance. And part of that dance, not part of it, all of it is going to be physical. It's all body language. And in communication, in all aspects of life, but especially in the seduction game, is the key aspect of seduction. And body language makes up something like 30% of communication. Very small, not a small part, but only a portion of communication is actually verbal, right? If you think about it, if you're just talking monotone but you're talking like all the best 100% seduction game, you're not going to get anywhere. But if you're saying the exact same words, but with the right body language and the right intonation and things, it's all of a sudden you're super seductive. It's going to be that much of a leap of a difference, and that's what I'm trying to relay to you guys here, and how important body language actually is. And again, it's not going to be necessarily about adding more things. Sometimes less is more. And that's why calm, cool, and collected. It's like calm down a bit. I think a lot of guys are a bit too nervous, so doing too much, darting their eyes too much, moving their hands too much. You know what I mean? It's just like you just gotta sit back, be relaxed, cool, with a nice confident smile, nice eyes. And it can make that much of a difference. Try it. Go into next time you go to Starbucks or something, or I don't know, interacting with any type of girls, just incorporate looking above the horizon with a calm, cool smile, calm eyes, pull your shoulders back a bit, and see if you notice a difference in how you're treated, right? And seeing if the girl's giving you any indicators. Just try it. You'll be surprised. Anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Any other advice for guys when it comes to body language, leave in the comments section below. Is there something that I missed or should expand upon? Yeah, there's probably a few other things I could have talked about, but I think those are the major ones. These are the major things that a lot of guys have issues with. And that's just scratching the surface. The whole other side of things is not the body language, but the actual verbal language and communication, which goes hand in hand. So I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.